What's good, YouTube? Slender Revolution X here, coming to you guys with my Evilswarm deck profile that I ran at the ARG Open Circuit. Keep in mind, this was basically like the bare bones. Like, I went as standard as you could be due to the fact that it's the first time I'd ever played Evilswarm. I thought it was a pretty good meta call, and clearly it was. I played a lot of dragons. I played Prophecy, which it did well against. I played... The only bad matchup that I really had was against Fire Fist. I even did pretty well in the mirror due to the fact that Bahamut is a card, so it was a lot of my opponent first turn Ophion, I first turn Bahamut and stole the Ophion, stuff like that. So it worked out pretty good. I really like the deck. I understand it's kind of like people really like to hate this deck. And I think that gives it kind of an allure to me, so I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to keep playing it. If I can make it to the Frederick Regional, I'm definitely going to play this, I think. So, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. I have 3 Evilswarm Castor, standard. He's your essential summoner. 3 Kirkion, triple Heliotrope for them rabbit plays, triple Mandragora. This card is insanely good. I don't think people understand that this is like a huge card in this deck. 2 Thunderbird, that card is like the ultimate troll. This card allows for some really like good like torrential plays and things like that. It's just really hard to get over in general. The double Maxi mained. I felt this was a better choice than Effect Veiler due to the fact that I ran 2 Fiendish Change. I wasn't really worried about Effect Monsters. It was more of the Dragon matchup and me hoping to be able to draw enough to get over things like that. 1 Rescue Rabbit, and last but not least, 1 Evilswarm Lantern. Lantern is a good out to big monsters that Ophion can't get over, or big monsters that if you have Bahamut that you don't have the resources to steal. And especially if you have like a Kirkion caster play where you get the chance to summon 3 monsters, this is not a bad third monster to summon. So, and I really needed to find more Evilswarm monsters. I found out that when I was testing the deck, I really didn't have a big enough monster count, and I found myself drawing into a lot of hands full of magic and traps. So it's up to 18 right now. It may change a little bit before the regional. I'm not sure, but I really like this build right here. So those are the monster counts. On to Spell and Trap, I have 3 Infestation Pandemics. I was running 2, and then my buddy Robbie, like, kind of through playtesting the night before, was like, you should probably just run 3 of these. So I cut down. I was originally running 2 Lances, so I cut down a Lance and put in a 3rd one of those. And I was really, really, really happy I did. This card saved my ass insane amounts throughout the tournament. So this card really, really good, and I think it goes without saying that it's really good. Double MST, I side the 3rd for things like, you know, Rivalry of the Warlords, things like that. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Just problem cards. Problem cards that you need to get over in the back row. 1 Dark Hole, it's a staple. Wow, I need some new sleeves. 1 Book of Moon, 1 Forbidden Lance, 1 Forbidden Dress, and 1 Rhoda. I'm probably going to cut the 2nd Forbidden Lance for a 2nd Forbidden Dress. I'm probably going to cut the 1 Forbidden Lance for a 2nd Forbidden Dress when I get my hands on one. Just because that card is insanely good as well. It essentially does what Lance does, where it helps you get over problem monsters, but this also protects your Ophion from things like Blaster. So, it's really, really good. Onto the traps. I have a pretty heavy trap lineup, and I really enjoy that in most of the decks that I make. Double Mirror Force. This was actually a surprising card that people didn't understand. Like, they would run into 1 or get rid of 1, and then just kind of go all out. They were not expecting people to play 2 Mirror Forces, and when they saw it, it was like a really big game changer. Double Safe Zone. This card is awesome. Protects Ophion, protects your monsters. That with Master Key Beetle is also a really good play. Double Fiendish Chain. May bump that up to 3. This card put in work this weekend. Onto the 1-ofs. 1 Vanity's Emptiness. This card did really well for me this weekend as well. Solemn Warning, Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Torrential Tribute, Eradicator. I will never take this out of the main deck. Eradicator single-handedly like won me the game 2 in Dragon matchup. I called spells and just hit like 2 or 3 of the draw cards in a ravine, and it was just it really hinders that deck. And last but not least, the one Infestation Infection. This card is better than a lot of people give it credit for. It sets up future plays like no other card in the deck. So, onto the extra deck. The triple Ophion goes without saying. This card's the reason the deck is good. Double Bahamut. This card was probably my MVP of this weekend, not counting Ophion. I stole a lot of monsters with this, especially in that mirror match. Like, the guy didn't understand to not put out Ophion turn 1. Essentially, what I would have done is just probably summon the Castor and made 2 monsters, or even just pass, because anything that he was going to make, I was going to steal with Bahamut at that point. So, he did a lot of monster stealing for me this weekend. One Evilswarm Nightmare. I made him once, and it actually changed a Crimson Blader to defense mode and was able to let me get over it, which was really, really nice. People don't read cards, and when they don't, it can really come back to bite them. So the guy didn't read this, and I was like, alright, so that's in defense mode? Because I made it in defense mode, and he just kind of like pushed it aside, and the next turn was like, oh, look, Crimson Blader. And I was like, okay, change that to defense mode. Next turn I made Ophion and swung over it, and really just hindered that deck. One Maestro, one Gaga Cowboy. Used Gaga Cowboy's first effect for the first time ever this weekend. It's really not bad. I think it got over a title, I believe. And even the person I was playing was like, wow, I've never seen that done before. And I was like, yeah. The one Photon Papal Operative. I used him once, I think, this weekend to push up a Star Eater, and then I like Book of Moon to Star Eater and then flipped it up to cause it to lose 600 attack. And I don't even remember what happened after that. The one Master Key Beetle, it's pretty much essential in this deck. It just adds power to this deck. Utopia and Utopia Ray, just in case. I really like Utopia. A lot of people really down that card. I think it's a pretty good card in itself. And for the XYZ Encore plays, I have a Wind Up Zen Mains and Mech-Whip Engineer. People kind of question why I run the Mech-Whip Engineer, but a lot of people are side decking Electric Virus, especially against this deck, strictly to steal Ophions. And I wanted to be prepared, and because it's a machine, you can steal it with Electric Virus, so I wanted to be prepared and be able to protect myself with Mech-Whip Engineer if it got to that point. So this is a 14-card extra deck. I was running a Abyss Dweller there. I was borrowing it from my buddy Robbie. I had to give it back to him. So that is the extra deck. Onto the side deck. The side deck helped a lot. Double DD Crow. I really liked this in the Dark World matchup leading up to the game, but didn't play any Dark Worlds. I played 2 Dark Worlds at Philly Regional 2 weeks ago, so I was like, wasn't sure if the deck was making a comeback and if I would see it, but I wanted to be prepared if I did. Double Electric Virus. This card is amazing, especially this format. Steals a lot of things. So. And the one Fossil Dyna. This just hinders 9 out of 10 decks these days. If you can't get rid of it, it's going to become a problem card. The third MST, one Dimensional Fissure. Dimensional Fissure is a really good side deck card, especially since, you know, most of the stuff that goes to the graveyard in this is through Exceed monsters, so you're still going to have your Kirkion plays with this. But it really hinders other decks out there. One Dust Tornado. I really knew that I would need to get rid of things like Rivalry of the Warlords and Shadow Imprisoning Mirror and Royal Decree and things like that against the Dragon matchup, so I wanted to be prepared with that. The one deck Devastation Virus. I never sided that in because even in the Dragon matchup I felt that the Eradicator was a better choice. Double Mind Drain. I sided that in once against the Dragon matchup. I think I'm going to take this out for Soul Drains. Or a Soul Drain and something else. Double Light Imprisoning Mirror. I was really, really, really worried about the Constellar matchup. Because, I mean, as you guys saw, the finals, the Constellar beat Evilswarm. It's just, Constellar's a really, really good deck. And I wanted to be prepared just in case I saw it. I did think I was going to see a bunch of it, but didn't see any at all. So I was prepared with that. And then the extra deck, Imperial Iron Wall. This is the best side deck card of this format. Just because dragons are so OP, this can shut that deck down and cause them to overuse resources to get through plays. So I really, really love this card. I would actually contemplate putting it at 3 just so you draw it because they side in outs for it, and if you can, you know, keep this on the field, this and Key Beetle like essentially wins you the matchup. So that's the deck, guys. I hope you guys like it. Like I said, I'm going to try to play this again at the Frederick Regional not this week, weekend, but next weekend. If I can get there, if I find a way to get there, I will definitely play this. If you guys like it, like I said, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section below with your guys' thoughts, questions, anything like that. And as always, guys, subscribe to join the revolution today. This is Slender Revolution X signing out, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.